So why I will be talking about MCPHS is so that I can tell you what kind of programs we offer in healthcare industry, what kind of career opportunities we have, and how we can get those, how we can get entry into those programs. What are certain prerequisites? Okay, so I will try to cover as many points as we can. So for those of you who are still considering your options to study in the healthcare industry, if you are interested in a high paying and stable career, consider the field of healthcare. IT and other industries may go through ups and downs, but as long as human beings exist, people will need the healthcare. That's for sure. So talking about MCPHS University, yes, we were founded in 1823. We are one of the oldest universities of the United States, almost 200 years old now. So we have very good experience of teaching pharmacy and healthcare. Now, let me tell you what is a full form of MCPHS, although it's already there on the screen. Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. Now, as the name suggests, we are in Massachusetts and we are located in the city of Boston. Massachusetts is a state and we are in Boston. And we are purely into pharmaceutical sciences and health sciences. We do not offer programs outside the industry. And we are not a college, we are a private university. And because we were established in 1823, we were established as a college. And since then, we did not bother to change the name. We kept it the same way, Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. But when we read it in a short form, we say MCPHS University. Okay. Now, MCPHS University connects you to the government and industry networks in the United States and in India. That will be your launchpad to some of the highest paying salaries of all the university graduates in the United States. This ranking of the highest salaries, yes, even higher than Harvard. Trust me, it comes from the pedagogical methods created for you and your success. You can get the real world hands-on experience in our research laboratories with the latest technology and world-class affiliations, or in one of our 5 campuses clinics in which our students serve over 25,000 patients a year. So that is a kind of uh, performa that the university has built in. Now, before I talk about the academics at MCPHS University, I would like to highlight that in the United States, students must follow a number of arts and science classes, which are also called as liberal arts, which are a prerequisite for a professional healthcare degrees. Whereas in India and other countries, healthcare studies are entirely focused on the scientific and the clinical training. So if you are transferring from an Indian healthcare degree, the chances are that you're missing the liberal arts classes required for the admission. But in case if any one of you is coming to United States to study um, any healthcare related program, trust me, your university will be teaching you liberal arts along with the main program. It's not only at MCPHS, it is across United States because that's their protocol. That is a mandate that the student needs to learn the liberal arts before they can get into their healthcare system. Even though you have a plan to return to India to practice here in India, still you would be needing those liberal arts. That is a must. Okay, so moving ahead with the School of Pharmacy, as I told you that we are a School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. So we've got various departments. We've got Arts and Sciences, we've got School of Pharmacy, we've got School of Optometry, we've got School of Dental Hygiene, we've got the School of Physician Assistant Studies. So there are various departments where we have our presence. Now, but talking about the School of Pharmacy, so if you want to become a pharmaceutical professional, you need to be self-motivated. You need to be inquisitive, detail-oriented, interested in chemistry, and a problem solver. Now, why we are saying this? We are saying this because these are the major requirements for a pharmaceutical professional in the industry. Every year, United States has seen about 25% growth in the job opportunities in this sector. An average salary what a student gets after completing their degree would be approximately $92,000, and it goes up to $121,000 per year. Now, why is there a difference between the salary packages? It completely depends upon the program that you want to get into. If somebody wants to study pharmaceutical economics or drug regulatory affairs, the salary package would differ somewhere between $85,000 to $95,000 per annum. But if you want to become a pharmacist, if you want to practice pharmacy in the US, or if you want to become a pharmaceutical scientist, or want to get into pharmacology or toxicology, the salary might go up to $110,000 to $125,000. So it completely depends upon what you want to study. Doctors of Pharmacy, I will not get into detail of all the programs. My presentation is quite lengthy because it has been designed purely for all the programs, which I don't want to discuss right now, and I don't want to bore you. But yes, in case if you have any individual questions about a particular program, I will be happy to answer them. But yes, let me talk about a Doctors of Pharmacy, a PharmD program, a 6-year direct entry program, which a student can do straight after completing the year 12. Please do not get confused with the name Doctors of Pharmacy, as in the beginning of this session I told you that doctorate programs in the United States are different. So not all doctorate programs would be a PhD program. So this is not a PhD program. It is a normal doctorate, which is without research. It is a clinical doctorate program. A student just after finishing the year 12 can study Doctors of Pharmacy. It is a 6-year program. It is actually an amalgamation of a bachelor's and a master's degree. Medical doctor, a fantastic program. Now, I want to become a doctor in the US. Now, most of the students come and ask me, sir, I want to do MBBS in US. So first of all, US does not offer MBBS. They simply offer medical doctor, which is an 8-year program. Now, if I compare that with India, India offers medical doctor in 7.5 years. I'll tell you how. So initial first 5.5 years are MBBS, and the last 2 years are MD. Am I correct? So you actually spend 7.5 years to get an MD degree in India. However, in US, they simply offer MD straight away, right from the year 1 to year 8. It's an MD program. But in the beginning of this session, I also spoke about the pathway programs. So the pathway programs that we have is a 4 years of pre-medical, that's a bachelor's degree, 4 years of pre-medical, and then another 4 years of medical doctor at a medical school. Now, MCPHS is just a healthcare university. We are not a medical school, but we help the students to cover all the prerequisites required at the medical school. We help them prepare for the MCAT exam. We help them prepare for the interviews. And we also help them to get admissions into various medical schools in the United States. So 4 years of pre-medical, 4 years of medical school at MD at any medical school will give you an MD degree. And you can do your specialization as per your own choice. We can talk about this program in case if anybody is interested. Pre-medical and health studies is very similar to what we've just discussed. So that's a 4 years of bachelor's degree. Medical and molecular biology, a fantastic program. A program for somebody who is interested into medical, but actually wants to get into research. So somebody who wants to study biotechnology, biochemistry, or forensic science, this is a wonderful program that a student can do. Now, a student can work in the fields of virology, bacteriology, immunology, and toxicology. So again, a 4 years program, a fantastic program that one can choose. Now, what is healthcare actually? Healthcare careers you've never imagined were possible. Now, if I talk about the programs that we have, We have programs in business and management. Is that not a part of healthcare? Yes, of course, it is a part of healthcare. Any industry would require business and management, and we've got a program at the bachelor's level and even at the master's level to do business and management in the healthcare industry. We've got the programs related to public health. We've got programs related to global healthcare management. Public health is here. So I'm sure most of you are aware of public health, but the ones who don't know about public health, it is basically prevention of disease transmission. Now, COVID is a best example. We all know how this virus has actually spread across the world. Now, the people who've been responsible to have communications or to create awareness were the public health specialists. How did we get to know about the COVID-19? Only through the news channels, but how did the journalists got to know about this COVID-19? It happened through the public health network. Now, there are various specialists, health epidemiologists, or the healthcare professionals who were involved to prevent this disease transmission. Again, if you look at the job growth, there's a 21% job growth every year in this particular sector. The salary starts from $68,000, goes up to $130,000, again, depending upon what kind of specialization you've chosen in public health. Under public health, you can study health informatics, which is a pure amalgamation or a marriage between healthcare industry and the IT sector. We have programs related to maternal and child health. We have specializations related to epidemiology. Now, it is completely up to you what kind of major you would like to choose under public health, and that would depend upon, that would actually lead to the salary package that you'll be getting tomorrow, and that would also talk about the job opportunity that you'll get tomorrow. Then biomedical informatics, again, very similar to health informatics, which I just spoke about. So if you are very computer savvy and curious to know about the human body parts, and you are a problem solver, this is the best program you can study. Again, a 4 years of bachelor's degree at MCPHS. So we have various other undergraduate programs. You've got programs in nursing, dental hygiene. Now, I did not tell you what dental hygiene is. So dental hygiene, as a name suggests, it sounds as if somebody wants to study dentistry, but no, this is not a dentistry program. Dental hygiene or dental hygienist is the professional who assists the dentist while he or she is meeting the patient. A dental hygienist is not allowed to do the root canals, is not allowed to do the surgeries, is not allowed to do the tooth extractions. But in case of scaling, cleaning, or any other assistant that is required is what is performed by the dental hygienist. Again, there is a degree and there's a very high salary package. A dental hygienist in the US does not get less than $110,000 per year. Physician assistant. We all have heard about compounders in India. A compounder is a person who helps a doctor with small things, with anything which is related to medicine, maybe helping writing the prescription, or helping to get the medicines for the patient at the clinic. And the compounder does not need a degree, that's for sure. However, physician assistant is a very good profession in the United States. Again, the physician assistant is playing a very similar role of what a compounder does in India, but they need a degree. The starting salary package of a physician assistant in the United States is nothing less than $130,000 per year. So you can imagine how much does a United States spend on paying to the healthcare professionals. And it is only because they need quality. Other programs, I've spoken about healthcare business and administration, business and management. I did that. We've got health psychology. Then we've got a school of acupuncture. We've got medical imaging and therapeutics. Now, medical imaging and therapeutics is what? These are the programs related to medical sonography, echocardiography, renaissance, nuclear medicine technology, radiation therapy, radiography. So all these programs, we've got a bachelor's degree. Then, of course, we've got programs in pharmacy. We've got doctors of pharmacy. We've got pharmaceutical sciences, which is a research-based program. We've got pharmacology and toxicology, which is more to do with drug development. And then we've got a school of physical therapy and occupational therapy as well. Optometry is an eye doctor, but as I told you that we're not a medical school, so we don't teach surgeries. This is only limited to the vision care. That's it, nothing else. Postgraduate programs at MCPHS. So we've got accelerated doctors of pharmacy. I just spoke about doctors of pharmacy, which was 6-year program. Now this accelerated doctors of pharmacy is a 34-month program, not even 3 years, 34 months program, specifically designed for the international students who have completed bachelor's of pharmacy here in India. There's a graduate summer school attached to this program because if you remember, I spoke about the liberal arts. So liberal arts are required, which we cannot teach within 34 months. So there's a 10-week graduate summer school program where we teach the liberal arts to meet the prerequisite for this program. This program comes with the attached 6 weeks of rotations. There's an entrance exam called as PCAT, which most of the universities require to give an admission for doctors of pharmacy, but MCPHS does not require that PCAT exam. Average salary, as I told you, $121,000 per annum. Then we've got pharmaceutics. Pharmaceutics, a fantastic program, a pure research-based program. Somebody who does pharmaceutics will become a pharmaceutical scientist tomorrow. Then we've got pharmacology, which is a drug development program. Medicinal chemistry, this is a pure research-based program which deals into medicinal chemicals. A fantastic program, pharmaceutical economics and policy. It actually comes with a double major. Now with pharmaceutical economics, the name itself suggests that it deals in economics, which is the drug pricing. How much a drug should cost to the patient? What is the expenditure? What are the policies and protocols involved? Then it also deals in regulatory affairs, wherein helping a pharmaceutical company to get the approvals from FDA, Food and Development Authority. Then we have a separate regulatory affairs and health policy. Now this program deals with FDA regulations, but it does not include drug pricing. It does not include economics, but it is purely based upon getting the FDA approvals. Clinical research, a fantastic program. Somebody who wants to get into the research is this program. And somebody who does not want to get into the research, again, we have this program. So if you are purely into clinical trials or you have interest into clinical trials, doing the experiments or testing, MS in clinical research is something that you can choose. A very flexible program, which is designed for somebody who wants to do research or somebody who does not want to do the research. So we are very flexible with this program. There's a flexible curriculum, so you can choose your subjects as per your choice. So it completely depends. I have always done research, but now I don't have interest in doing the research. I'm just willing to do the clinical trials. Perfect. Go and study MS in clinical research. Again, this program comes with a capstone project. Now, what is this capstone project? It is an attached internship which comes along with the program. And most of our programs comes with the attached capstone project. MBA in healthcare management. Wow, somebody who's done anything in healthcare and now wants to do an MBA program. A fantastic program that MCPHS offers. And no GRE required. Additional graduate programs, we've got acupuncture, oriental medicine, dental hygiene, diagnostic medical sonography, nursing, health sciences, healthcare administration, magnetic resonance and imaging. Then we've got occupational therapy, optometry, pediatric and cogenetical echocardiography, physical therapy, physician assistant studies, public health, regulatory affairs. So there are various programs that we offer at MCPHS. Okay, so I have spoken a lot about the programs, but why should we come and study at MCPHS? First and the foremost reason is the location. We are located in Boston, which is the hub for health sciences, hub for pharmaceutical sciences. And that too, we are located in the heart of the Longwood medical and academic area of Boston. And in short, we can say it is the Hollywood of healthcare. 74% passing rate for medical, dental, and veterinary examinations. Placement into clinical rotations and internships at some of the top hospitals and research centers in the country. Global network of alums and healthcare professions. Opportunities to meet industry leaders through extracurricular involvement. Passing rates for all the licensure examinations above 90%. So that is what we offer to our students. And that's the reason why we are one of the best. Now, in the beginning, I also spoke about the rankings. If you remember, I spoke about MCPHS being top for the graduate salaries. So let me tell you that we are ranked #1 in the US for earning power. Now, what is earning power? Earning power is the graduate salaries. Of course, today, wherever we are going to study, whatever we are studying for the salary packages. Tomorrow, we all want that we should get one of the best salary package in the world. And what MCPHS holds the ranking in, that is what we promise to our students. MCPHS earn a higher salary. How do we say that? Now, let us look at some of the best universities in the US. Look at Bentley University, look at Boston, look at Babson College, Harvard University. Now, average annual cost of the program. Again, let me tell you, we are ranked #3 in the US for economic value that we provide to our students. #1 for the highest salaries and #3 for the economic value that we provide to our students. Now, why we are talking about the economic value is because our tuition fees is quite lower side. It is very economical, and the salary packages are very high. Now, if you look at MCPHS University, an average annual cost for a student is approximately $35,000, and the salary that they get after attending is about $116,000. So that is what we give to our students. Boston campus life. So we have got 8 buildings shared with 2 college areas, more than 50 plus student organizations in that location. There are cultural organizations, professional student societies, professional fraternities, College of the Fenway. Now, College of the Fenway is the group for the students where they can do any kind of recreational or extracurricular activities, any kind of, if you are interested in sports or something, you get a free membership to College of the Fenway. And then we've got, of course, on-campus housing. Now, this is what the location looks like. If you look at the circle right there, MCPHS University is there. Then we've got Beth Israel Hospital. We've got Merck Institute. We've got Jocelyn Diabetes Center. We've got Boston Children's Hospital. We've got Brigham and Women's Hospital. We've got Harvard Medical School. So all these professional or the medical institutions are right there, very close to MCPHS University, which actually terms this location as Longwood medical and academic area. So we are right there in the center of the medical and academic area, which is the great opportunity for the students to build the industry relations tomorrow. Career placements and opportunities. So if you look at these names, these are one of the top names in the industry, and we have our professional tie-ups. We've got our partnerships with these companies. And most of our students are placed in these companies. There are many more companies. We've got more than 2,000 partners only in United States. And unfortunately, we could not name all of them. But let me tell you, our students are absorbed very quickly, not only because of our partnerships, but also because how much we invest or how much hard work do we put in for their professional growth. If you want to get in touch with us, we've got an Insta page, a Facebook page, a YouTube channel, a Twitter account. My email ID is right there. My WhatsApp number is right there. And now I would open the door for the questions. If you've got any, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Akash. Wonderful presentation. Wonderful.
Thank you, Richard.
You have given so much in-depth knowledge about MCPHS. We all knew MCPHS is number one in terms of its program, in terms of the earning power, in terms of its location, and it's quite ranked. So all this was known, but your programs and the way you explained made it so easy for all of us to understand. Thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, basically, few questions basically that I have for you. One, basically, you have already mentioned that basically in terms of your placements, you have more than 200 corporates
2,000.
with
2,000.
2,000. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was a big difference. 2,000 corporates that you have tied up. And that shows basically that that as a college, you are very much connected with the industry, so that students are also benefited in terms of using their knowledge, what they have learned to practical experiences, and also you get valuable inputs from the industry. Now, taking the present scenario of the COVID and all those things, how do you see the future basically of the programs that you have mentioned?
So, to be very honest, Richard, we are actually seeing the growth, the potential growth in this sector. As I mentioned earlier also, that if we talk about any sector, be it IT, engineering, technology, art and design, business and management, or whatever, they all will see ups and downs. But whenever any sector will see a down, whenever there is a recession, the healthcare industry will have a boom. Trust me, this industry will never go down. This industry will never see a recession. One can stop eating a chapati, but they cannot stop eating a medicine. So that's where we stand. And there is a lot of potential, a lot of growth in the near future. If we look at the current scenario, the number of healthcare professionals required as per the demand is actually less. The industry is foreseeing a lot of more number of professionals to come every year because there are ample job opportunities in each sector, not only in US, not only in India, but across the world.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for that, Akash. Okay. There's a question basically, what is the undergraduate tuition fee for molecular biology?
Molecular biology. So all our undergraduate programs will cost about $36,000 per annum. But the good news is that we offer scholarships for all our undergraduate students. Now, I will not say what percentage, how much scholarship will a student get, because we look at the holistic profile of the student. A student with 70% or 65% can also get a scholarship at MCPHS. The maximum scholarship that we offer is $16,000 per annum. But let me tell you, Richard, I think a wonderful example that is there in your company itself. Last year, students, there was a girl from your own very consultancy. I don't want to share her name, but she was fantabulous. She had very good academics, and she was admitted to one of our undergraduate program. The maximum scholarship, as I say, that we offer is $16,000 per annum. So every year she was supposed to get $16,000. But looking at her grades, looking at her academics and the complete profile, the admissions director decided that we will also offer her another $16,000 of housing grant, which means almost her 1 year of accommodation was free of cost. So that is what we commit. Now, it is definitely not there on website. It is not there on papers, but we really encourage and appreciate the international students. So if there's any hard work that you've put in, that will be appreciated. Don't think that you do not have good academic score. There are students who've got 60% in year 12, and then they wrote SAT, and they've really scored well. They've been offered $12,000 per annum. So I cannot tell you what amount you'll be offered right now, but upon looking at your holistic profile, we offer a maximum of $16,000 per annum. Every year, we offer $16,000 of scholarship.
And the graduate tuition fees for masters in public administration?
Sure. So the graduate tuition fees for most of our programs remains the same. It is approximately, if we talk about the spring intake, which is just 3 or 4 months ago. So after, sorry. So the tuition fees is 1,275 per credit, which means if I talk about MS in pharmaceutics or MS in public health, um, public health would have 42 credits, pharmaceutics would have 30 credits. So 1275 multiplied by 30 or 1275 multiplied by 42. But when we talk about next year fall intake, the tuition fees, there'll be a slight increase, which could be about $1,300 per credit. So for example, if you're talking about the public health, 1,300 multiplied by 42 would be 2 years tuition fees. We can divide that with 2 to get a 1 year tuition fee. It will be approximately 20 lakh rupees per annum. But when we talk about the programs which have got 30 credits, the tuition fees would be approximately 15 lakh rupees per annum.
Perfect. One I would always encourage all students is to apply to MCPHS because it's a ranked university. Its location is excellent. And also because once you apply, you will know what type of scholarship you are able to get. And that can reduce your cost of your education. So apply, and then basically once you get your offer letter, you can make a decision and you can join MCPHS University. So
and the best part is that, sorry to interrupt, the best part is that we do not have any application fees. So please do not refrain yourself to apply. Please make an application as soon as possible.
Perfect. There's a question about are these programs that you have mentioned available for January intake?
Not all of them, but most of them, yes. All the undergraduate degrees are available in the January intake, that's for sure. For the masters, we've got regulatory affairs, we've got pharmaceutical economics, we've got clinical research and masters of public health. Only these 4 master's degrees available in January. Rest, all of them are in September intake.
Okay. You have mentioned most of the universities doesn't require undergraduate SAT and at graduate GRE GMAT. Any of the programs do require GRE or GMAT?
So yes, we've got 4 programs that require GRE. No, none of them require GMAT, but GRE, there are 4 programs. One is pharmaceutics, one is pharmacology, one is medicinal chemistry, and the 4th one is doctors of physical therapy. Now, these 4 programs only require GRE. Rest, all the other programs, all the other postgraduate programs do not require a GRE or a GMAT. And for our undergraduate programs, SAT is not mandatory. Again, it is completely dependent upon the student. If you have not scored really well, and if you're looking for a higher scholarship, then I would suggest to please write SAT exam. If you are not concerned about the scholarship, it's okay. We don't require SAT.
Okay, perfect. Is housing mandatory for undergraduate students?
No, it is not, but it is your choice. If you want to stay, we actually suggest and we guarantee the housing to all the undergraduate students. Even if at the last minute, if an undergraduate student says that I want housing on campus, we guarantee you the housing, but we do not force you to stay on campus.
Fine. Akash, one last question about basically is about the application processing time that is required or the application deadlines?
Okay, so first of all, let me talk about the application deadline. Our first deadline for next year fall intake is 1st of February. So if you're looking for September intake, the deadline is 1st of February. If you're looking for spring intake, the deadline is 30th of October. Okay. Now, deadlines are again something which I know Richard has just given you a presentation where he was talking about the deadlines, to be very strict with the deadlines. But with MCPHS, of course, yes, we've got limited seats. It's a healthcare university, so we've got limited seats. We wait until the deadline, but once the seats are full, we might even close the admission before the deadline, and we might even stretch our admissions after the deadline if the seats are vacant. We might give the stretch for some programs where we have the seats vacant. We might not even give it for even a single program. It completely depends. So it is purely based upon first come, first serve. And talking about the admission process, it is very simple. You just need to go and apply online. I'm sorry, Richard, I missed your other question. What was it about?
Yeah, the admission process and the processing time.
Processing time. So the admission process, all of our applications are online. There is no application fee that needs to be paid. Um, for the there are some professional programs like PharmD, which needs to be applied through PharmCAS. Then there is physician assistant studies, which needs to be applied through CASPA, which is centralized application system for physician assistants. Then we have another OptumCAS, another system which is called as OptumCAS, which is there for optometry. But most of our programs can be applied online through our own portal. Okay. Processing time is a maximum of 3 weeks. The first week is when we receive your application. A team member from the admissions team will sort all your documents and we'll see if all your documents are there. Once that is done, the file is passed on to the associate director of admissions, who will read the file and will check the eligibility. That's the second week. The third week, the file is passed on to the faculty, who will review your file and will make the decision. And once the faculty has made the decision, within 2 working days, you will get the offer letter. So be prepared. Will take a maximum of 3 weeks if your case is quite simple. In case if there's any complication, if you're not able to understand anything, if your university or a college is not registered, if you have too many backlogs, or if there's any other problem, then we might take a week extra, but generally we respond within 3 weeks.
Thank you very much, Akash, for taking all the questions and for answering it so well. Thank you. You always do, and thank you for attending the Student University webinar for making it easy for us. Any final things that you want to say before we end this?
So I think I have covered almost everything, and I look forward to get a few applications from this session. And in case if you have any doubts, any questions moving forward, I've already shared my WhatsApp number. I've already shared my email ID. Please feel free to reach out. Just give me a quick reminder that we met at this session, and I'll be happy to guide you further.
Thank you, Akash. We'll definitely have a couple of more applications this time for sure. That I strongly feel that, because I have also corresponded with some of them and they are looking forward to applying to
MCPHS. Wonderful. Guys, trust me, you are in safe hands. This is one of the best recruitment agency that I would say, one of the best consultants in the industry. Please go ahead, submit your application through them, and feel free to contact me if you have any questions. All the best.
Thank you, Akash. Thank you very much for those lovely words and for encouragement that you have given to us. Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.